Hello, geometry people, and welcome to this week for geometry. Um, we've covered all the topics that we wanted to cover for this particular unit, and we're going to move on and do an assessment. But instead of taking a test to where you'd have to maybe do problems online or something, what you're going to do instead is a Google slideshow. I've had to do something like this in the past, so hopefully you're familiar with that. But I just wanted to go over some of the things that I'm looking for in your presentations. Again, it's a Google slideshow presentation that shows me. I mean, think about it. It's an assessment, so you want to make sure your slideshow is showing what you know here. Not just trying to copy some things out of the book, throw it together, and say, there, I did it. It's an assessment, so treat it like it's worth 100 points, because it is. And these are the things I'm looking for. Number one, show how a chord and a radius at right angles are related. We did a section on that. Show how the radii, that's how you spell radii, that's the plural of radius. Show how the radii of a circle are related to triangles with central angle vertices, isosceles triangles in circles. Show how radii of a circle are related to triangles with central angle vertices. I should say, fix this on the fly. There should be a opening parentheses there for isosceles triangles. Anyways, we did an assignment on isosceles triangles inside circles that's related to. Third thing we did was to show the relationship between inscribed angles and central angles. That should be pretty self-explanatory. And number 4 shows the relationship of inscribed right angles and diameters inside circles, of course. All right. Now, keep in mind what I'm looking for here. It says, I expect you will be explaining the steps and procedures needed for the above tasks. So as we went through and we did each of those topics, we were doing problems related to those topics. So my expectation is you're going to describe the overall idea, but then give an example of how to use it by working some problems. And you can find problems either in your book or online. So make sure that you're finding some problems that deal with those specific things that I just talked about, those 4 things. And then work some problems that deal with those as examples of how to use those ideas. So do not, you see this right here, it says, do not just copy someone else's explanation that you find on the web. That would be a no-no. It's also called plagiarism, and plagiarism is cheating. Maybe you don't know this, but if I can highlight your explanation and search for it on the web and it pops up as someone else's work, that means it's not yours. So make sure that you're putting things in your own words, and don't just change a word or two because Google still pops up with the same articles. Just make sure you're explaining in your own words. Hopefully you know what the idea is, and you should be able to explain it in your words, not the book's words and not someone else on the web. But do find problems, perhaps from your book, that you can use to help show these skills. It might be good to work them on paper and add pictures to your work, or of your work, to your slideshow. And you can do that pretty easily by taking a picture with your phone. You can email that to yourself and then upload it into your presentation. Grade-wise, this is being used as your assessment for these topics. It's a test grade. And so test scores, of course, have a big impact on your overall score for the class. So make sure you're doing a good job. There aren't going to be any reworks here. It's not like I'm going to read your slideshow and say, nah, I didn't care for that slideshow, and then give you another opportunity. Make it good to start with. Don't wait for me to tell you to redo it. If you're not sure about it, it could probably be made a little bit better. So please make sure you're putting something together that deserves a good grade. Read over the rubric that I've attached so that you know what category is a grade on. Some of you might come up with wonderful explanations and add no graphics, and then end up with a bad grade. And you go, why did I get a bad grade? I was explaining really well. And that could be true, but I'm going off my rubric. So not only do your explanations have to be super, but you need to add graphics to your explanations and to your examples to help us follow that along, because most of us are visual learners, and it helps to look at something visually, like what does the problem look like. So you're going to add drawings, and like I said before, you might choose to do them on paper, take pictures of them, and then put them in your slideshow. That might work pretty well. If it doesn't look like you spent time and effort on your slideshow, don't expect a good grade. That's really true. If I look at something and go, well, they must have spent a whole 10 minutes doing this, it's not going to get a very good grade. Spend some time. You think about it, if you were taking a test in class, or if I gave this assignment in class, I might give you like several days to work on it. And you have an hour a day in class. So if you were using your time wisely and they give you like 3 days to do it, should look like it had about 3 hours worth of work on it. So don't think that just because everything's online right now that you can get by with minimal time. Make sure you're doing a good job and spend some time and make it look good. Make it look like something that deserves a good grade so that I can give you that. Okay? So channel your inner good student spirit and do the job that you are capable of. Show me what you know here. And if you don't know it very well, take this opportunity to know it a little bit better and impress me with your slideshow skills. Okay? All right. Make sure to read the rubric. Good luck on this. It's due on Friday. It's the only assignment you have this week, so spend some time on it. Have a good week, and hopefully we'll see you soon.